want to be on camera right now, so I'm sorry y'all gonna have to face this black screen. But it's something that I noticed about the narcissists in the workplace, and that's just how much of a coward they are, especially the female narcissists, because that's mostly who I work with. So let me tell y'all about work today, because I haven't, gave y'all a little update on work in a long time. So the narcissist is this thing that she does to where if you have a heavy workload, okay, her and all her minions, all the ones that follow up behind her, like little puppies, they will listen to her if she tells them not to help you, or she don't even really have to say it. That's just how much power she have over them, power and control. You know, she can just go her own little way, and if they notice that she's not doing something different, they're not going to do it. They just follow up behind her. That's all they do. Just follow behind her shadow all day long at work. So she call herself, like, because you went no contact, or you limited the contact, so they don't like that. So they call themselves punishing you. They think that you're having it hard because they're not helping you. When the thing about it is, nobody wants to be bothered with you. Nobody is expecting you to help, because the simple fact is, if you help, you have to get something out of it. You never do anything, out of sincerity. If anything, if they come to help you, take off a load at work, they're going to be expecting something from you. Trust me. And so that's why they don't lend a helping hand during the times that you would think they would when you have a super heavy workload. But what they'll do, just to kind of, like, this just shows how coward they are and how much they're not to be trusted amongst their friends. Because what they'll do is come back and try to pretend like they want to give you a hand when you're almost done, just to say, well, I went and offered to help. But they're not going to do it in front of the crowd. So it's like they need the crowd to see them be this big bully. But when they're away from the crowd, they come to you, in secret, and ask you, do you need help with anything? Stuff like that, just to try to say, give themselves a little bit of credit for at least trying to help you, when it's all fake. They don't really want to help you, because if it was, if they really had that in their heart, they would have come to you much earlier when the workload was like super heavy. So now that you've gotten it all the way down and you don't need any help, which you weren't even asking for help in the first place, they just assume that you would want help, because they get their kicks out of watching you work hard or sweat, because to them, that's a form of punishment to them, so they think that they're punishing you. They think that it's like a punishment to you because their feelings are hurt because you cut them off. You don't deal with them no more. They just have a crazy way of thinking. And then they'll come to you, without letting their little followers know. They'll come to you and ask you, do you need some help? Just to go back and say, well, I did offer help, because they have to have something to cover themselves in case a supervisor walks up and asks, hey, why are there like 10 people sitting down on the clock having an extended lunch break when we have, one of your coworkers in the back overloaded with work? Y'all can be, y'all could give her a hand. But, people on the outside looking in, they don't really know what's going on. Hell, even the flying monkeys don't know what's going on. They're blind to the fact that they just under a spell. They're just doing what she's expecting them to do. Just like I mentioned in yesterday's video, they expect you to be a certain way, and you're kind of brainwashed to behaving that way automatically. It comes to a point where they have such a stronghold on your mind that they don't even have to ask nothing of you. You're just going to do it. It's just going to be a given. You make it easy for them to control you because they already know where they have you at. So that's what I had to deal with at work today. And I was like, no, thank you. I got it. Like, baby, look, you already know how I work. You know how I get down. I don't ask for assistance when I have a heavy workload. I just work my way through it, and that be that, and go on with my day. And if anything, the plan, your little plan to hurt me, or you thought that you was, they get their kicks out of seeing you so-called suffer, but you're not suffering. It's just work, and it's just so happened to be a heavy workload today. It's no different from any other day, when time comes and you have a lot to do. It's no different from any other day. But the narcissists, they just want to feel like they have won, like they've gotten their point across. It's like they need you to know, you've done something wrong, and for that, you're punished. That's why I said a long time ago, when you're doing something and the narcissists think that they think they're hurting you by adding more work onto your workload. Like if you have a narcissistic boss, make it look enjoyable. They hate that. They hate to see when you have a smile on your face, when you can just sing to yourself and there's no music playing. They hate that because they see that you're at peace. No matter how many stones they throw at you, you still at peace. You just go with the flow. You just roll with the punches, and they weren't expecting you to give them that reaction. They're waiting on you to just crumble. They're waiting on you to just have a meltdown because that gives them a supply. It's all about a reaction with the narcissist when they do things to deliberately hurt you. Now, the next thing that I notice about the narc is how sometimes they will, like they love to future fake and make it seem like they got it like that. Like they just come from a family of rich family, like they was just born into money. And that could be the furthest thing from the truth. But the narcissist can pretend their way and put that image out there and have a lot of people fooled. Now, just in case some folks already know about the narcissist's true lifestyle, it's like, it's all up to the people who they lied to figure that out on their own. But the thing about it is the narcissist will go along with that false image for as long as people believe it. So I told y'all that she's using her aunt's car truck to come to work. And so she have a lot of people under the impression that that's hers because she never debunked it. But one person, she admitted to the fact that, oh, it's not mine, it's for my aunt. Now, the reason why they would finally admit to the truth and stop living a lie, and on these false pretenses that something belongs to them, the only reason that they would admit to it is because they don't want to look poor. But I'm like, but you still bumming. You still a bum. So it really doesn't make a difference if you go ahead on with the lie or you admit to the fact that, well, that's not my car, I'm using someone else's. Because you're still a bum. You're still waiting outside. You still got to hitchhike rides. You waiting for, I ain't going to say wait on an Uber or nothing. Because they too cheap to even take an Uber. They use the excuse those things are too dangerous. I've seen too many stories of people getting attacked. And I'm like, but the people were the passengers attacking the driver. And of course, bad things happen. Bad things happen all over the world. It's going to be that way till the end of time. So please, miss me with that excuse. You're just cheap. That's the only reason why you're not taking the Uber or a Lyft. But yeah, so the person asked her today, oh, you're not in your car? What's wrong with your car? And she said, that's not mine. That's for my aunt. It's in a shop getting some work done. I was hoping that it'll be finished before we leave work. So, and she was just looking so pitiful. And I'm like, that's good for you from earlier, for holding people back from coming to help me. You knew what you were doing. But it's not the simple fact that I wanted the help. It's just the idea that her intentions was to make sure no one helped me just in case I needed the help anyway. So it's like karma is their payback, and karma is always right on time. And I always get to witness it. I always witness it. Like, it always backfires. Every plan that the narcissist put in place to hurt you, to hurt me at work, I always witness it backfire on her. I always see it to the point where I just see it coming already. I can pretty much count on something backfiring on her in the midst of her trying to destroy me. It has happened so many times that I can't even tell you, so that's all I want to talk about, though, is how it's just these two things about them. And I guess when they admit to using something that belongs to someone else, I guess it's because of the pride. Like they're saying, oh, that's not mine, that's hers. She wanted me to use her car. I didn't really want to because I don't need it. You don't need it, but you're not going to turn it down either. And then you have this nasty attitude. You're always angry when this person, they have business to take care of, so they have to drop you off at work and come back and get you. So I know that you're expecting them. You feel entitled at this point. You're just super spoiled. And you feel like that belongs to you, but it's not yours. It's someone else's property, and they're nice enough to let you use it. And then you have the nerve to get mad, that one time that they not able to let you have. Like, that's how they think. Just selfish, entitled. They have huge egos. They think they God skip to the world. They're super prideful because they don't want you to think that they need something, even though it'll be very much beneficial to them. They have too much pride to go and get, like put necessities ahead of all these other things that doesn't matter, that can't make your life better. So, but I didn't intend for this video to even be this long. It's supposed to be short, but there's no way I could explain that, without going into detail so y'all can get the full understanding of what I'm talking about. Yeah, but those are the two things. How the narcissist is a coward and how they come back and try to, clean that image up of being such a bully by pretending that they're giving you some assistance. Like, who would what? Oh, I'm sorry about that almost. Who would want help from a person who has spent, the first part of the day trying to hurt me? I don't want help from you. Because if I accept that help from you, that just goes to show that it's kind of like people pleasing. Like, you please the narcissist by giving them what they want. Like, you kind of giving in to them. So it's like they're telling you, so I hope you learned your lesson. Are you ready for me to help you? And we go back to what we were, that's what I look at it as. So don't give in to the narcissist. Turn them away. Every time they come to you with this fake, oh, I want to come and give you a hand. Nope. Because they're just trying to come back in. And they're just taking, little steps at a time before they're back where they, were with you. And don't let them get comfortable in your life again. When you cut them off, you got to be strong and cut them off for good. Now, you can have limited conversation, but of course they don't want that. So eventually they'll be cut off for good. And that's their choice. You have a choice. You have a choice to respect me, or you can go ahead on about your way, because I don't need that negativity in my life. I don't need that toxic energy in my life. I don't need that around me. You have to let it be known. So that's all I want to talk about in this video. Thank y'all for watching, and I will talk to you soon.